Fish, 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 fish. Oh, that is a decent pike. What a hit that was. Now then, and thanks for joining me on this wet, windy, rainy, pretty horrid day doing a bit of pike fishing, and today I'm going to be telling you about the advantages of using big lures when you're pike fishing. I'm going to be putting this to the test on this lake behind me and a few other lakes over there. I'm going to be talking to you about big lures in general, about some of the obvious good things about using them, and also some of the not so obvious things about using them. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this fishing trip I'm so excited about today. Not done a huge amount of pike fishing lately, so just so eager to get a couple of fish on the bank. I'm sure you can all relate to that at this time of year. It is not easy, but maybe with this tip it'll be a little easier. So the lure I'm using today is the Rapala X-Wrap Pito in live roach pattern. The Rapala X-Wrap Pito, I absolutely adore this lure. Hard body here and a soft tail. You just can't beat the action, especially in winter. It's got a slow belly wobble and this tail just goes mad. Normally I use this in the mirror carp pattern, but today I'm using it in the live roach pattern because I'm used to using that lure quite a lot, so I just thought I'd mix things up slightly while still using the big lure I feel like I've got the best chance with. So advantage number one of using big lures in the middle of winter, and that is a fish of any size will take it, more or less. And a lot of people know that big lures are good for big fish, especially. That sort of goes without saying, doesn't it, really, that a big fish is going to be more attracted to a big prey. But come winter, something just switches in the small pike's mind and they go wild for bait of any size, really. So would not be surprised today if we ended up catching some quite big fish. Well, that's the aim, really, but also maybe some really small fish too. And one reason for that is because they've got a slower metabolism. They need to eat a lot less regularly than they do in summer. In summer you can catch big fish on small lures, well you can in winter, but it's just harder because they feed a lot more regularly and a lot more aggressively. They'll eat loads of small fish to get the calories in, but in winter they eat less often, and when they do, a meal needs to be worthwhile them expending their energy on. Fish on, I think. Doesn't feel like a big fish, but it's a fish on. It's a fish on. Come on. That's a small fish. Well, this actually proves my point quite nicely. First fish of the day, and it is not a big one at all. Next time you're thinking that a big lure is going to put small fish off and reduce your chances of catching in winter, think again. Here's the proof. This fish must only be slightly bigger than the lure itself. Amazing how aggressive these little pike can be. Let's get it back. Seeing them swim off has to be the best part, doesn't it? Look at it go. Come on. Well, it is always nice when you break that blank, isn't it? There's always that underlying tone of, am I actually going to catch anything today? But once that first one's on the bank, that's when we can relax, get into the groove of things a bit and just chill out with our fishing. It's only a small fish, but really, really happy with that one. Shows the lure's working on the day too, and to the conditions, weather, water temperature, and that they're feeding, so a good sign for the rest of the trip. Well, what an amazing predator the pike is. I have to say, one thing I was secretly kind of hoping for today, just to prove my point, would be a really small pike on quite a decent sized lure, because it really just shows the predatory nature of them. and it's great to see, really. To be honest, it is great to see, but that doesn't mean I'm not hoping for a big one today. Just working my way around this big lake behind us. Another thing I wanted to mention to you all is that I've just got a drone. I've been thinking about getting one for quite a while, and I've finally taken the step to getting one. I've not got it with me today, and it's probably too windy to fly today, but I'm just going to cue some irrelevant drone footage now. So what you're seeing now is my first ever attempt at flying a drone. This is a little practice run out. I've not actually been on this trip. This is going to be tomorrow. Thought I'd take it somewhere nice and open when the weather's a bit nicer. The reason why I've got this is because I do visit some pretty cool places when I'm out fishing, and I want to give you guys the best possible view and experience when I am at these places, and show you the views in a much better way. So you got that to look forward to for some of the upcoming videos. No doubt it's really going to come into its own in summer when I fully get to grips with using it, but I will use it when I can, and I will include as much drone footage from now on as possible, really, because I think it's going to be a really cool way to showcase some of the venues that I get to fish. Well, unfortunately the fishing's got quite slow. I think we're in that customary mid-afternoon slow spell. Hopefully later on it's going to warm up a bit. Tell you what I could do is warming up a bit. My hands are absolutely freezing. So while the fishing's slow, I thought instead of wasting any more time trying to get the perfect moonwalk on camera, I'd talk you through some pike safety equipment. So I sort of take it for granted that most of you watching this channel do pike fish or know how to, but if you don't, here's some of the stuff that you're definitely gonna need. So the first thing is a decent lander net. This is a Savage gear net. Pretty much anything will do as long as it's big enough. Rubberized as well, so you don't get in too much of a tangle. These, also very important, just long nose pliers, unhooking, self-explanatory really. Snips, wire cutters, hook cutters, anything like that. I've never actually had to use these, but I've carried them around for 2 years based on the fact that if I do need them, it might save a pike's life. So this is good for deep hooking if you're dead baiting, or just anything really. If there's a hook you can't quite get out, you can just snip the barb off. Really important. And the last thing you'll need is a big unhooking mat. So this is an anti-roll unhooking mat. This is perfect for fishing places where there's big fish and where there's a sort of gravelly floor. The small ones work well too, but that's more when you're fishing with grass on canals and stuff, and with a sort of soft bottom where the fish you're going to be catching in general aren't going to be that big. I'm assuming a lot of you do already know this, but if just one person doesn't and this helps save one pike, then I'm glad I've done it. So you can find pretty much all this stuff online. Also, I got most of this from Jerry's in Morecambe. So if you live in the Lancaster area, nip in there and I'm sure they'll have everything you need to safely deal with a pike. Look at the action on this. The tail goes absolutely mad, even on the slowest retrieve. Perfect for this time of year. Fish, 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 fish. What a hit that was. This feels a bit bigger. Again, not... Oh, that is a decent pike. What a hit that was. Get the net, get the net. What a pike. And he's in the net. Get in. Get in! Yes! That was so fun! What a strike! I felt that through every bone in my body. Apart from one. Oh, what a beast! So, we've seen how a big lure can catch a small fish. Now here we go with a bigger one. I'd say this is a double just about, maybe a little shy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Got a bit of weight, I can tell this has recently had a meal. Look at that for a fish. So pleased about that. What beautiful and quite uniquely marked fish this is. Just giving it a little rest in the shallows before we let it go. Off it goes. That brings me nicely onto my next point though. How fun is that, feeling a big pike absolutely slam a big lure? That's part of the attraction for me, to be honest, is seeing their predatory nature at its finest. Please don't do this. Please. I never lose lures anymore. Not lost one in ages. As soon as I've found one that I'm really enjoying using, it's stuck. Why me? Oh, we've got it! We've got it! Come on! This day just keeps getting better and better. Don't know if you can tell, but I definitely woke up on the right side of the bed today. And it is just getting better. If you are enjoying this video and you want to see more from this channel, then you know where that subscribe button is. Fish on. Oh no, it's come off. I had one on then, yeah. Just splashed there too. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I just lost that fish over there. Just got talking to a couple of match fishermen with their keep nets, and I was asking if I'd seen any pike sniffing around them or if there'd been any rises that day, and they both pretty much told me exactly where one was going to be. It wasn't massive, but we had it on for a few seconds. Bit of a shame not to be landing it though. So when you are doing your winter pike fishing with big lures, a sort of general rule of thumb is low and slow. Try keep your lure somewhere near the bottom and retrieve it quite slowly. There obviously are exceptions, like if the water temperature's warmed up, but that's just a general guideline that I'd say you'd do well to stick to, especially in the middle of winter like we are now, the heart of it. Well, that's all we got time for, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching as always. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It's a bit of a shame we couldn't make it happen with that final fish, but what can you do? We tried and we tried and we tried. I hope you've seen through this video some of the advantages of using big lures when you're pike fishing. I'll catch you down the road.